everybody, and welcome back to the pre-production meeting. I'm your co-host, Josh Urquhart.
And I'm your other co-host, Daniel Kagola.
Oh, hell no! Thanks, Derek. This is episode 58 of the pre-production meeting, the podcast where we talk film news, film stuff, and our progress in our own films. Daniel Kagola.
Yes, Joshua Urquhart.
Welcome
Does
back.
anyone call you Joshua?
No.
What about when you're
And
in
if
trouble?
they do, out of my life.
Oh.
So it's only Josh. Oh, actually, I was going to say someone else. I don't say that. Anyways, how's your week been?
It's been actually pretty quiet, I must say.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why? Why is that?
Not a lot going on in the film world.
What
You
about
know, we have these quiet weeks sometimes.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
What about your own film? Surely that's chugging
Yeah,
along?
so I mean, more or less the same point that it was at before. Like I've
Yeah.
got picture lock now, but I got Lockie to clean up the timeline, so it's
Nice.
pretty much all cleaned up now. I know you were asking to see it later. So
Yes. Did you bring me a piece?
Like, I mean, it's the export is on Dropbox.
Oh, right,
I
okay.
can show you. I mean, it needs like tiny tweaks, but I can maybe show you one scene or something if you're good.
If I'm good.
Yeah.
If I'm good. What if I win the... Oh, no. The
Okay, you know what? We'll do
variable-
that. We'll do that. If you win the DV...
But it's not a win thing this week. It's not a game. It's
Yeah,
just we're casting our own animated movies into real life. So stick around for the final segment. But yeah, why is it kind of stalling? What are you waiting for now?
well, I was just waiting for Lockie to clean up the timeline.
Fucking typical, typical Lockie.
I don't know if Lockie's going to want to work with me again after this because I'm so pedantic about every tiny tweak. And then, you know what else was funny? I asked him to copy over the timeline.
Yeah.
And then, like, I left it for a while and then I watched it again today. And then I was like, hey, man, did you go through and make changes? I was like, why did you make changes? He's like, I didn't. I copied it over. I'm like, oh, I must have made changes and forgot that I made changes.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but no, I'm pretty happy with it now. And I remember you
Nice.
asking me a while back, like, do I think it's better than, you know, my previous films?
Yes,
and stuff?
asked you last
So
week, yeah.
last night I went and I watched my first short film that I did at the end of film school.
Nightlight.
Yes.
Nice.
And then I watched Baron afterwards.
Yep.
And I was like, yeah, I have improved. Like,
Of course, man.
It's a hard thing to describe why it's better. Like there's obvious things like the cinematography and the writing and those technical things. But I think my filmmaking it has more intentionality behind it and more life. You know, like the characters feel
compared to before. Yeah,
the characters feel more fleshed out.
Yeah.
There's just like a certain tone and a voice to the film.
Yep.
Whereas before it didn't. It was a little bit muddy in that kind of area with the kind of films I wanted to make. I think I've really just cemented the types of films that I want to make and, you know, my voice as an artist. And I still have a long way to go, but I feel like I'm slowly establishing that. And then also, like, it's really nice because I feel like this was my first attempt at the horror genre. And, you know, I sort of kept within the traditional limitations of horror. You know, just your simple things like jump scares, and it was my first time doing that.
Do you have jump scares in
There is a jump scare in it, yeah.
Don't tell me where it is.
I won't.
Yeah, nice.
I feel like you have an inkling of where it is, though.
Oh, man.
'Cause you've read the script and you were there when we filmed certain...
Oh, wait. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so it was just like wrapping my head around the genre and how it works, and then being like, oh, cool, I made certain things work within that genre.
Do you think you'll stick with horror?
I think so. I want to go forward in the horror and thriller genre. Yeah.
So would you ever do like a rom-com?
Look, like I love all kinds of movies. I'd love to try different things, but I think at some point you've got to make a decision as to how you want to move forward into the industry, because you get...
Yeah, you want to stick your niche.
Yeah, you get known for being good at one certain type of film, I think. I mean, for you definitely have your types of films you want to make, right? Like
100%,
maybe not like a
maybe not genre-wise,
like
but the types.
You like those grandiose kind of films that have a spectacle, which I absolutely love as well. Like,
yes.
And I feel like we need more kind of adventure films and things. Like, I really miss the old adventure films from like
Jumanji.
Yeah, or like, you know, like Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Yes,
and
Journey
like,
to the Mysterious Island.
Yeah, like all those kinds of
Dwayne
movies
Johnson.
I really miss. And like even like Zathura, I remember that was one of the first movies I remember seeing in the cinema as a kid.
Yeah.
Fell in love with filmmaking. Because it really just transports you to another.
Yeah, fantastic. Do you have goals to do like a movie like that?
Oh, I'd love to one day. But as I said to you, we were discussing on the chat earlier, if you could have your dream budget for a film, what would it be? And I said,
I didn't actually answer that.
Well, I said mine was like 20 million because I feel like that I could make a really good like thriller with like some. I like gritty horror movies that have like supernatural elements, like Stephen King kind of films. So I feel like I could make something with like a 20 million, maybe a little bit higher if I wanted to do something a bit. higher
cool.
concept. What would yours be?
Oh man, are we talking about? Okay, when you say my dream budget, are we saying my debut dream budget?
No, if you could make a film for any budget that you wanted, what would it be? If somebody just
I know my
write you a
dream
check
movie
right
that
now.
I would want to make.
Okay, so how much would you need for that?
Probably, look, man, fuck it. Give me 120 mil.
Yeah, well, Lockie said 100 mil, so
Yeah.
it's pretty close. Yeah.
Give me 120 mil. I reckon we could do something
What
special
would
with
be
that.
your dream movie? Can you talk about it?
Yeah, I can talk a little bit about it because it's my magnum opus. That's the one thing that I'm kind of aiming to. Other than directing a Star Wars film, that's one of my main goals. But this film will be the best thing that I've done, and I have a plan for later on. It's the film that me and Jay came up with. In film
You
school.
always talk about this, but I don't actually know what it is.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to say everything that it's about, but it's based on. It was a funny story actually. How he came about it is it was international co-producing. It was a subject that we're doing, and it was international co-production, and there was an assessment where we had to come up with an idea we had to like pitch a theoretical movie and cast our the actors that would want in the roles and stuff, but we had to do it with another country and whatnot. Anyways, it was like maybe the night before the assessment where me and Jay had to produce a pitch to the class and the lecturer. And Jay was like leading up to it was like, okay, trust me, I'm looking into something and you're going to have to trust me. We're going to leave it to the last minute, but you got to trust me it's going to be good.
Yeah.
Anyways, the night before, I get bombarded in my Facebook messages with a bunch of old declassified CIA documents.
Whoa. What?
Anyways, I'm reading through these and I'm like, this is the greatest. If this was made into a movie, this would be the greatest thing that I've ever seen.
Yeah, wow. Jeez.
So,
okay, cool.
yeah, and we from there developed an idea over a couple of weeks, like even after the assessment. No, because we had to pitch for the assessment, and then we actually had to work on the assessment. So we had the original pitch, and then we had to like do a whole rundown of the movie like a couple of weeks later. And I just remember the days of us like in his little granny flat out the back of his house coming up with the film and just it blowing our minds. And that's something that's probably the film that I'm leading up to is my number one. And you're right, it's on scale like grand, but also just so fucking incredible and out of this world. It's
that's sick.
120 mil, I reckon that's doable. So that would be my dream budget for my dream film, definitely.
Very nice. Love that.
But yeah, bro, this week.
Yeah, how about your week? How's it been?
My guy.
I'm catching on.
You're catching on. It's been good, been busy. It's so funny now just talking about what I'm aiming towards, tracking it all the way back to where I am presently. No, it's been good, been progressive. There's been a lot of things going on in pre-production, which I'll get into in the progress, so stick around for that. But yeah, feeling good, feeling happy. Got some good opportunities coming up in the near future. Sorry. So it's all looking up, all looking good, and I'm excited to get into it and talk about it.
Lovely.
Let's get into the wrap up of the week, my friend.
Let's do it.
What have you seen?
Oh, all right. Well, let me pull out.
Get out the letterboxes, guys. Get out the letterboxes. I think I've got 2 things that I want to talk about.
Okay, lovely.
That's about it.
I believe I've watched 3 films since we last spoke.
Yep.
So not heaps, but
Still quite a bit.
Yeah.
Indy, how many films have you seen? Yeah.
oh, probably like 300.
Yeah, bro, you watch like fucking 20 a week. Here we go. Fairly slow.
Fairly
So
slow.
70 fucking films, you know what I mean? Here we go. Tell me. Oh, wait. We'll go with Indy first. Indy. What are we saying? Dun, dun.
There's
Dun, dun.
counting.
11.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
fuck. Only 11. Come on, man. That's incredible.
Far out. That's
Awesome.
like, is that more than one a day? That's
I know when I fucking oath it is, yeah. Unless there are 11 days in the week now, Dan.
no, but like, has it been longer than a week since we last recorded?
Yeah,
Has it been like 2 weeks?
true,
So,
true,
yeah.
true. I think maybe it has. I don't know. I can't remember. What have you seen this week?
Okay, so I watched. I wonder if you've seen this.
Mm.
One Day, the romance film with Anne Hathaway and the other
No.
English guy.
English guy who?
Yeah, I have to look it up
Jude Law. That's the only. No, he's not English, is he?
Is he? I don't know.
No, I don't even know. What is the English
Looking it up real
guy?
quick.
One Day. I've heard of it. Definitely, it's definitely on the rom-com list to go watch. Go into Letterboxd. You can see the cast on Letterboxd. If you click on it and then you scroll down. By the way, if you guys want to follow us on Letterboxd,
Jim,
okay.
sorry.
No, you're all good. Go on.
Wait, you go.
If you guys want to follow us on Letterboxd, I actually don't even know. I think it's just Josh Urquhart.
I think mine's Daniel Kagola.
There you go. You can keep up to date with the films that we're watching.
Yes.
Before the podcast. How
Follow
incredible.
us, please.
All right, go on.
Jim Sturgis.
Yeah, no, I've never heard of him.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So this film just follows a couple over the course of 20 years, like how they meet. Well, sorry, they're not a couple, they're friends, but then, you know, love life's become complicated. They're dating different people at different times, and then, spoiler alert, they end up kind of...
Don't. Don't. Just leave it
Okay,
there.
yeah.
What did you rate it?
Yeah, it's
They end up
about two best
kind
friends over
of-
the course of 20 years and how their lives change and how they grow as people
Yeah,
and
yeah.
all that good stuff.
Yeah, cool.
There's a new Netflix reboot of it.
Oh, really?
But it's originally a movie based on a book.
Uh-huh.
But then the Netflix one I think has like a few episodes, so it's probably a little bit more fleshed out.
And this is rom-com, yeah?
Yeah.
Are you watching these to fill the void in your life?
Fuck you. So no, I just somebody. I had
He's got a bit red
I had
now.
a couple people recommend it to me.
Oh,
Don't
a couple
know why.
people.
No idea why. It's quite hot in here, isn't it?
Well, they turned the aircon off now. Yeah.
Now they turn it off.
Yeah, now they're crying. Fuck.
But yeah, I saw the new one came out and like a couple of people recommended it. So I was like, I'll watch the original. I'll watch the new one later and compare it.
Cool.
But
How long ago was the first one?
2011, I think. Something
And they've
like
already
that.
done a reboot. Crazy. All right.
Yeah. Anne Hathaway has an English accent in it.
Wow.
It's pretty good.
Nice.
Pretty convincing.
Okay,
I actually
cool.
had to look up whether she was in fact American. which
Wow.
She is, because...
That's how you know you've done a good job.
Yeah, sometimes the Americans aren't the best with doing other accents. Yeah.
Especially Australian accents.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Indeed.
All right, cool. Yeah, what did you give it?
So I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. It's just like a little bit of a forgettable kind of rom-com
Fair
movie.
enough.
And a few things happen in it. that
As
you're just-
most rom-coms are.
They're just a bit average, aren't they? And
What's
I
your
feel like
What's your favorite rom-com?
probably like When Harry Met Sally is...
Same.
Yeah, it's good, eh? It's
I mean,
very
Friends
good.
with Benefits, but
Yeah.
best rom-com?
Mm.
Probably Harry Met Sally.
Yeah, it's... Yeah, it ticks all the boxes.
It does, man.
But I feel like the rom-com genre, I'd love to get Fetty's opinion on this.
Yeah.
Is a little bit limiting.
Mm-hmm.
We'll speak about that after.
Yeah, okay.
It's a little bit limiting. I feel like once you've seen a couple of them, you've seen all of them. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah, for sure.
You can always
They
sort
all
of
follow the
see-
same tropes.
Yeah, which is another reason why I like horror, sci-fi, those kind of genres, because I feel like you can do a lot more with them. You can experiment a lot more, as opposed to something like your rom-coms or like even like action films are a little bit limited. Like you can't tell much of a story, but at least you can change the sort of spectacle and the style of the action, things like that. So, what if you could? Are you aiming to make films within a certain genre or
Not
just
really.
explore?
Nah, I want to explore, man.
Yeah,
I
that's
feel
good.
like I
That's
have
good.
the type of movie that I want to create, and that can be in any genre, and I think it would be cool to dip my feet in and
Yeah.
do that in each genre. I don't
Yeah,
know.
because for me, like, even though I want to do like horror and thriller, I'd love to play around with that. Like, have some that are a little bit more black comedy type vibes. Like, I feel like you can really push it into subgenres
Yeah.
and things.
I mean, I want to like perfect example of that is I want to do a musical later on in life.
Yes.
But I want to do it's like a musical meets Inception.
Yeah,
Like imagine
yeah,
that.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
fucking.
I've thought of a
subverting the
musical like
genre.
that as well, which is kind of darker, but that's what they're doing with Joker, I suppose.
Yes,
So I'm curious
I
to
guess
see
so.
how that turns out.
There you go.
I think it'll be good. Do you think it'll be good?
I think it'll be fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, I love music. I love.
Do you?
Well, I don't love music. I love movie
Soundtracks.
music.
Yeah.
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 Anyways, what else?
Fair.
Is that Dead Poets Society?
It is. Finally watched it. It's a
Ah.
classic, which I
You never
got
watched
around
it?
to. No. Have you seen it?
I think I have. I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
I wasn't loving it when I was first watching it, but then the more I got into it, the better it got. So it's just about a bunch of kids at a private school. I think they're at a private school, and they have this poetry teacher who sort of has these unconventional methods. The poetry teacher is Robin Williams. Oh, bless his soul. He's so good. Everything I see him in, I'm just like, I miss this man. So
Yeah.
much. He's just so good. But yeah, he's sort of teaching them how to like live in the moment and seize the day and all that kind of
Nice.
stuff. and then that sort of leads to the kids doing things that, you know, the other teachers don't agree with and all this stuff. But yeah, it's a nice movie. It's got a nice message. And
Is
all
he
that
a
stuff.
substitute teacher at first, or like a fill-in or something?
I don't think so, from what I remember.
Okay, yeah.
I think he just... Oh, maybe he is. Maybe he's just for that year.
Yeah.
Because I got to admit, I watched the first part of this movie.
Don't
like-
tell me you fell asleep.
No, I watched it a couple weeks ago, but
yeah.
sometimes I do this thing where I'll start watching a movie and I don't have the time to finish it, but I'm just there and I feel like watching something for a little bit.
Sure.
So I'll pop on a movie, watch half an hour, and then I'll come back to it like 2 weeks
You
later.
are a psychopath.
I know, it's pretty psychopathic
That's
behavior.
insane.
I should just like...
You just watch a little bit of a movie and come back to it in
I
2
know.
weeks.
I try not to
What?
do it because I feel like you're not experiencing it as a whole, but sometimes...
Oh, no shit!
Sometimes I kind of like it though, especially if it's a long movie.
Bro, that's actually crazy.
It is a little bit
That's a
psychotic.
red flag.
Yeah.
No wonder you're single. Sorry, man. I love you, man.
But it was nice watching...
Oh, sorry. I was supposed to do the duh, duh, duh. Yeah.
It's nice watching like an old movie and seeing like Ethan Hawke is one of the main actors,
Oh,
and he's
yeah.
a kid in it, and it's
What?
nice. Yeah,
Really?
he's like a teenager, so it's nice just
Nice. Cool.
seeing these seasoned actors when they were just starting their careers. And
Yeah, nice.
stuff. So I gave that one 4 stars.
Yep.
Good watch. I enjoyed
Amazing.
it.
Cool.
And then the third movie, which I did not like very much, is this movie called Bottoms, which came out recently. It's on
Yes.
Amazon Prime.
Yes,
Have you heard
yes,
of it?
yes. I have heard of it.
Yeah. So, well, the pros of it, it was nicely shot.
Yep.
It's sort of that's about
You've
it.
said
That's-
that the last couple of weeks. You always start. Yeah, cinematography's nice.
Yeah, I mean, they shot a comedy on anamorphic lenses. Don't really know why, but I'm not complaining. It looks nice.
Yeah, right.
Lens flare as well.
Wow.
So you can't see how
Distracting
unfunny the movie is.
Yeah, crazy.
So it's basically about these lesbians that start
Yep.
a fight club. That's
Yeah,
it.
fantastic.
And
But
they
it's
do
not
it
good,
in
right?
order to pull attractive girls.
Okay.
So yeah, so it's like it's sort of like super bad kind of vibe,
Okay.
but just less funny.
Who directed it? Anybody that I know?
Let's call her out.
I mean, going off last week's dependent
And my
variable.
review was stupid effing movie.
Wow. Jeez, all right, Dan.
2.5 stars. Let me.
I mean, if it's anything like Fight Club, I mean, I understand.
I'm trying to tap on it. Film.
There you go.
Emma
Stone. Crazy.
Sleegeman.
No, Emma Sleegeman.
Yep.
Nah, can't say I've heard of it.
But
Fair enough, man.
like
2.5, you say?
yeah, like I feel like it's a hard with comedy.
Mm.
It's a hard line to ride between like making it a little bit absurdist and then making it like having those heartfelt moments and like okay, so an example of a movie that does it perfectly is 21 Jump Street. Yeah, the whole idea of the Jump Street movies is a little bit ridiculous. Yeah, like
I love it, though.
it's about these older guys trying to go to high school and like blend in with the
Yep,
kids.
yep,
Like
yep.
that's a little bit silly, but it leads to like good comedic interactions and they ride that line perfectly between like leaning into it a little bit, but not so much that it's just feels stupid. And then they somehow sneak in these unexpected heartfelt moments as well. It's just like the perfect blend. Phil Lord and Chris Miller, who did like the Lego movie and
Yep.
they worked on a bunch of other amazing. They're so good at that blend between, you know, comedy and heart and all
Yeah,
that
for
kind
sure.
of stuff.
Did they
But-
do? They didn't do the Spider-Verse movies, did they?
They did.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't
cool.
know if they directed, but they definitely had a part in it.
Yeah, sure.
But this movie, I felt like tried to ride that line and sort of fell flat. Like, yeah, I don't know. A lot of the lines weren't funny. They sort of they have the whole joke of like the football team being like super just flamboyant and like over the top and cartoonish, but it's too
Yeah.
much.
Okay.
In
Yep.
contrast to the other characters, because you've got the main characters, the girls, and then the love interests and stuff.
Question for you.
Yeah.
Do you think it just didn't resonate with you?
I mean,
or
it's
is it
defi-
just a shit movie?
No, because they were like I was enjoying it at the start. Like one aspect I really liked is that they sort of they showed the awkwardness of being a lesbian in a way
Yep.
that you could relate to it as a guy.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
Like they had like at the start there's this scene where they're like walking through a carnival. And these girls are walking up to the other girls like, ladies, what's going on? And the other girl's like, what the hell? And I'm like, as a guy, I watched that. And that's really funny.
Yeah,
like,
okay.
Seeing how,
Fair enough.
Like, I can relate. To
Yes. Yes.
but then it sort of fell off later on,
Yeah.
I think, where it just lost its funniness.
Okay.
I don't know. And like the concept just felt a little bit far fetched. And then towards the end, they tried to go into the absurdist sort of themes a bit more, but it
Yep.
just, like they literally, I don't care about spoiling it, but
there you go, guys.
sorry,
Shut
guys,
your ears if you
you
don't
guys
hear
want
bottom
to watch this film.
spoilers.
then-
Yeah.
I'm going to spoil it. But there's like they have a big brawl at the end,
Yeah.
and people actually start dying.
Oh.
Like some guy gets impaled by a sword.
Oh.
Which like if
So
you
it's
do it
very-
right, if you do it like Monty Python style, you can make
Yeah.
it funny.
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
I just fell flat here because they tried to, I don't know, just they didn't blend it perfectly.
Okay. Fair enough, man.
I didn't rate it. It just wasn't a good blend of
Fair
comedy
enough.
and half
Yeah,
film and all
yeah.
that sort of stuff. So
You're
yeah,
more of a top.
yeah,
Fair.
sure. I guess
Anyways.
you could say that. Anyway,
Cool.
2.5 stars. That's my average review of this average movie. Okay.
All
so that's
right.
all I watched. All right.
Yeah, right.
You go now.
I watched Fallout.
Yes.
Finished Fallout. Absolutely incredible. I
Yeah.
think it's
Did you talk about this last time?
I talked about the start of it. I'm just
Okay.
going to
Yeah,
touch
yeah,
on
yeah,
it
yeah.
now. I finished it. I think it's very. I mean, you can't compare that and The Last of Us, but I
Mm-hmm.
would say, in terms of enjoyment, I enjoyed this better than The Last of Us,
Mm-hmm.
but they're both equally as good. I don't, bro. You go into depth with all your reviews. I just like, yeah, it's good.
Not really. You do go into depth.
yeah, sometimes.
Wait, can I jump in and say
yep, go.
one quick thing that link back to what I was talking about watching half of things?
Yeah.
This next thing I say, you're going to be like, that's even more insane.
Oh,
so
God.
often when I watch TV shows, I'll watch half an episode, and then instead of like watching one episode at a time, I'll stop at halfway intervals between episodes.
Why?
I don't know. I can't commit to things.
All right, Indy, I want you to clip that as well
Indy's
as
face is like,
as
what?
well as the other one beforehand to show how much of a psychopath
It sort
this
of
guy
just
is.
like feels safe for me to like, I don't even know.
Bro, you're
It's really going into my
crazy.
psyche.
Do you watch TikTok?
I think my
Is your attention
is probably
span-
ruined. Like if I force myself, if I know it's going to be a quality movie, I'll sit there and like watch it.
What's your For You page like?
Traveling film.
Yeah, all right. I want to do an experiment. Let's both go on TikTok, and the first.
I don't have TikTok.
You just said you do.
Well, I watch Instagram Reels, which is like.
All right. Let's look at our first 3 Instagram Reels / TikToks to show what our For You page is
This
like.
is a dangerous game.
All right.
I don't want to play.
My first one is proof bread can't speak English, and it's this guy talking to bread. All right, that's number 1. My number 2.
Why are we doing this?
Only in New York would hundreds of people gather to an anonymous man eating an entire jar of cheese balls. Now, I think that they're showing me this because I recently, yesterday, came up with the idea that I'm actually going to New York in February next year.
they're listening to you.
They're listening to me. So, there you go. Chinese government have all my information. And the next one is, yeah, can't say that on the podcast. Well, I've been finding some funny shit on TikTok lately. I'm gonna say, man. I'm not saying that, but
Mine is like mostly like movie clips, like Interstellar,
yeah, mine.
an ad for a couch,
Yeah.
another Interstellar clip, like yeah.
Do you like Interstellar, Dan?
Wolf of
Leo.
Wall Street. Yes, it's just films.
Yeah, nice. Fair
I
enough.
you know what? Like,
Tell me.
I love Interstellar, but not as much as some other people.
Yeah.
I think I need to rewatch it.
So I've only seen it once. I want to
Yeah.
rewatch it in IMAX.
Yes.
Let's do
If
it.
it comes out again, do you want to go together?
Let's go. Date.
do it.
Date night.
Sweet.
Yeah, anyway, so what I was talking about, what was I? Oh, Fallout.
Yes.
Yeah, Fallout. Incredible show. Since that, I've been obsessed with learning the lore and going back and
The law.
the law and
lore?
the law and like knowing all the law of
You
the
should play
video
the game.
games. Yeah, see, but you know me in video games, man. I've what's it called? Not attachment anxiety.
Commitment issues.
Commitment
So
issues.
you're like me
when
then.
when it comes to games with like 120 hour fucking gameplay, like yeah, of course. I'm sorry, I've commitment issues to that.
Fair.
But like, bro, I was still on like not even half of Hogwarts Legacy, and I got it a couple of years ago. I play it here and there.
Yeah.
Helldivers, I've probably played the most that I played out of any game because
And
of
what,
you
you've played
guys.
5 hours of it?
Yeah, but I don't even know. I'm level 4.
I think
5.
I've clocked up like 65 hours now.
Yeah, see, I wish that I had the energy to do that because I love it. I love playing with you guys. Just sometimes I get home from work and I'm just
No, that's fair.
dead. But I think yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, the lore of Fallout. I've loved learning about it, and I know what happens in each game now, and I'm super
Nice.
excited for.
I'm thinking of playing it and then watching the show. Maybe.
Yeah, which one? Apparently 4.
4 probably.
Yeah, 4 is the best one to do. But the show has nothing to do with the game in terms of story. It's a whole
Yeah,
new
but I still kind
story.
of want to play it just
Yeah,
to
yeah.
get like a get into that world.
Yeah, 100%. It's yeah. I mean, I didn't play the game, but apparently it's adapted it like amazingly. And I'm you know, for a person that didn't play the game and enjoying it as much as I did, I think they fucking nailed it. And it was so exciting and interesting, and just, you know, I was excited to start each episode and like ended on a cliffhanger and I have to watch the next one.
Yep.
Every time I was out, I was thinking, fuck, can't wait to get home and watch Fallout, you know what I mean?
So do you have a preference between Fallout and Last of Us?
Yeah, Fallout.
Oh, okay.
For sure, yeah. I think I enjoyed Fallout more, but they're equally as good and well made and well acted. It's less dark than The Last of Us is.
Yeah.
In themes and stuff, but
Which
it's
is
still
interesting because
pretty.
isn't it post-apocalyptic?
Yeah, it is, but it's still pretty gruesome and stuff at first. But there's a bit of humor, lightheartedness, and
Nice.
it's really fun and
That sounds
really,
good.
really, really good actor and actresses.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely go give it a watch. I think that ended up on my list. Of course, it did. Let me just see where it ended. So on my list of best shows of all time, it ended up as a cool 11.
Nice.
Fallout plus The Last of Us. That could even
What are your top like 5 shows?
5 Severance.
Nice.
4.
Oh, I got back into that.
Yeah. 4 The Punisher.
Yeah.
3 Avatar: Last Airbender. 2 How I Met Your Mother, Ted Lasso, and Reacher. And number 1 The Office.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay,
So that's
interesting.
my list. But yeah, definitely go watch Fallout.
Do you prefer The Punisher to Daredevil?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
I gotta watch it.
100%. You got to watch
John
Punisher.
Bernthal is so perfect.
He's one of my favorite actors
Yeah, he's
of
great.
all time.
He's great.
What else? I rewatched Malcolm and Marie. I did it.
Oh, how was
I
it
did
on
it.
rewatch?
You know what? I'm really, really scared to rewatch favorite movies
me
because,
too.
like, I don't know if I'll enjoy them as much.
Yeah.
And it happened with Her when I rewatched Her, and that
Yeah.
dropped down from
Yeah.
3rd of all time to like 65th of all time.
Whoa, yeah.
Malcolm and Marie. So I was blown away the first time I watched it, and when I rewatched it, I had a totally different experience. It was so weird, like great experience, but like different because I think
Yeah.
the first time I was in awe of the writing,
Yeah.
without really knowing what they were talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
But now I watched it with subtitles,
Yeah.
and I'm able to follow along.
I watched it with subtitles.
And
as well.
I thought I loved it again. I loved it again. I think I over exaggerated a bit, saying Zendaya and John David Washington deserved an Oscar nom. When I first watched it, I think I was just so in love with it at that time.
Yeah.
Definitely have seen better performances from them both, but I would still give it a 5 out of 5.
What do you think John David Washington's best performance is?
The Creator, from what
Yeah.
I've seen. I mean, you got Tenet and stuff like that as well, but
I don't think he's
I don't
particularly
think.
good.
No,
in,
I don't think he's.
to be honest, I don't think he's as good as his dad.
Oh no, man.
But he's like Denzel's incredible.
Exactly. You can't. Yeah.
Maybe he just hasn't had the chance as well to prove
I think
himself
so.
in that way.
I think. I mean, he's only like new,
Yeah.
kind of, to
Yeah,
the
yeah.
industry. But I loved it. I loved the simplicity of it. That bathtub scene still fucking
Oh,
gets
yeah.
me.
Yeah,
Like
that's
that
good.
that hits me. I still think it would be up there. Like
I think it's such an underrated movie.
I think so as well. I think I would actually keep it as number 2 for this, like at this point in time, just for the pure fact of I just love it and appreciate it, and I
Yeah.
feel like I can watch it over and over again.
Yeah.
And I love Zendaya as well. Like she's a fantastic actress, and oh man, I think the first time that I watched it, I connected with it differently to how I connected with it now.
Do you think it's because you're at a different point in your life as well?
Yes, I think when I watched it first, I was either fresh out of a breakup or have
Yeah.
just gone through a bunch of shit with girlfriends
Yeah.
and really resonating it now. Whereas now that I resonate with it and connect with it on a different sense, more on a filmmaking standpoint rather than what, the intent of what the story is about.
Yeah.
And in general, just it being about this guy who's a filmmaker, and
Yeah.
just, it's funny.
That's
Just-
what I
it's
really
just-
resonated with. Like
Yeah.
a lot of what he's actually saying, I'm like, that's
Yeah.
very interesting
Yeah.
to just listen to and hear like the characters'
Yeah.
philosophy and beliefs.
Yeah, I for sure, and that's why I connected with it first. The first time I connected with it about the theme of relationships, having, should I say that? I don't know, but like the kind of the things that Zendaya was going through.
Yeah.
Having girlfriends that are going through the same thing. So I think I resonated with it on that level, whereas now I resonated with it on the filmmaking kind of
Right,
theme.
yeah,
So it was
that's
different,
interesting.
but
And it's
really
it's
good.
really cool how it's all tied together as well.
For sure.
Like you have that aspect, like
Yeah.
looking into his perspective and what he thinks about
Yeah.
films and your own thoughts on films and filmmaking.
100%.
But
Yeah,
then you
yeah,
get
yeah.
to see like how their relationship has fostered and how she
Yeah.
has had to, be a partner to him, and
Yeah.
she's almost like second place in his life, I
Yeah.
guess. And then, like they both sort of have this
Yeah, yeah.
toxicity around each other,
It-
but it's like this like yin yang that
Yep. It made me question, and just not question myself, but kind of be like, okay, you don't want to be like him. Film's always going to be special and number one, but you got to find a
Yeah.
good balance between that and your relationship.
For sure, I think that's the difference between, like, for example, when you're a kid, right, and you have this big imagination, and I think as a kid I wanted my life to be a movie.
Yeah.
I was always watching movies, and I was like, why can't my life be more exciting? It's so boring and stuff. But then I think as I got older, I began to appreciate life as its own thing that's separate from film. And then what you realize is that life can imitate art,
Yeah.
and then art can also imitate life.
Yep.
And then they go back and forward in this continuous cycle.
Beautiful.
You know what I mean? Like how people, like, so you got movie characters that are based on people in real life, right? And then people will go and dress up as movie characters. You know what
Full
I mean?
circle.
So it's like a full circle moment. It's really
Continuation.
cool. I love it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think, Indy, you can clip that as well. That's a good conversation we had. But yeah, no, 100%. And there was something else. The shock factor was, I guess, kind of gone from one scene, which I really loved the first time around, was when she was acting. Like
Yes,
when
yeah,
she
yes,
did
yes,
the whole
yes.
like audition piece.
Yeah.
I just remember I'm just in awe of that movie. I think it's fantastic,
Yeah.
underrated and underappreciated as well.
Yeah.
People don't like Sam Levinson, fair enough, but you got to respect the work that
Yeah.
he's done. And then the last one that I watched Civil War.
Yes.
Finally, I
Tell me
watched
your
Civil
thoughts.
War. I didn't like it. But that's exactly what I think the director set out for it to be. I gave it 5 out of 5. It was the first movie I gave 5 out of 5 that I didn't like, and
Sweet.
I loved it, but I didn't like it. I
I get
loved
you.
the movie. I loved the filmmaking, the storytelling,
Yeah.
the acting, but it made me feel so uneasy.
Yeah.
And I did not feel good one bit in that
It's
whole
powerful
movie.
though, hey?
Yeah, I've never really experienced a film like that where I did not feel 1 ounce of positivity throughout the whole film.
Because there are some lighthearted moments in it.
Yeah, then it brings you right back down to
Yeah.
earth, and like just striking fear into like the scene with Jesse Plemons.
Oh, how good was it though?
One of the
So
best, I think
tense.
one of the best scenes I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like no music as well.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
throughout
yeah.
most of the film, it's
Yeah.
fucked how that I
Yeah,
can't wrap my head around
There
getting
is-
to that level of
But I
storytelling.
love when they do use music, because it's like
Yeah.
a scene where like often it'll contradict what is shown on screen.
Yes.
Like that bit where he's
Yes.
screaming and then it's just like the
Yes,
kinda like
yeah,
calming
100%.
music.
And because they're not using it all the time, it's more impactful.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it was great. I watched it with Sarah, her mum, and her brother.
Did they like it?
It was a nice little family movie night.
Yeah, interesting movie to watch.
her mum walked away from it going, "Well, I'm not sleeping tonight." It was quite an experience, but I think definitely has some important commentary.
What do you think about
on-
the message?
America. They're going to be America. I think honestly, the message is great, but fuck, man, I don't know. I don't think
put you on
America
the spot
gives a
here.
fucking shit about it. I think they're going to do what they want to do, and honestly, what we saw in that movie is more of a possibility now than it ever has been.
Yeah.
In America. But yeah, hopefully it doesn't turn to that.
Yeah.
But it's scary. It's fearful,
Yeah.
and hopefully, if anything, this movie does strike a little bit of fear into the people that need to see it, and avoid what was played out on screen actually happening in real life. But
Did you like the ending without spoiling it?
Yeah. I thought it was great. I thought I thought it was great. I can't really talk about it without spoiling it, but I
Yeah.
think I did.
I liked that final shot.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I loved it. But the moment where it comes full circle, like 5 minutes before that, do you know what I'm talking about? With the characters?
No.
With Kirsten Dunst's character when it comes full circle. what she
Oh
said.
yes,
Yeah, that like
yes,
hit me hard.
yes,
That's where
yes.
I teared up, man.
That was
like,
fucking amazing.
Yeah.
That was great. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
I love that,
Yeah.
and yeah, I think it was the movie ended where it should have ended. I think it was great. Go watch it, but you're not gonna have a good time. So be prepared to watch just a masterclass of filmmaking and just feel it's a different experience.
Yeah.
To say you go see Dune.
Yeah.
It's I see now what you mean about it kind of incomparable.
But that's kind of the types of movies that I like in a strange way. Like I like the thrill of feeling uncomfortable when well, the thing is, like, I know a lot of people hate horror movies because they watch it and they're like, oh, I feel scared or uncomfortable, so therefore I don't like it. But I think for me, I like the thrill of feeling that, but knowing that I'm safe behind like a movie screen. You know what I mean? I mean, as a kid, it was like a lot scarier, but as an adult, you can enjoy it. And I actually look forward to a film that can make me feel that again.
Yeah.
That uncomfortable feeling.
Yeah. Well, I can't put my finger on any film that's made me feel like that.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, Midsummer was kind of fucking weird. That's a whole different experience within itself.
Yeah. I think the reason why this probably hits so hard is because of how real it is. Like it's something that could very well happen.
Yeah, for sure. I think, actually, Midsummer is a good kind of comparison when I'm talking about different experiences you get. And that movie, that made me feel so weird.
Yeah.
After watching that.
Yeah.
Like, so weird.
It gets in your head, doesn't it?
Yeah. Man, it's crazy how movies can do this to you, make you leave feeling
you know what
ways.
You know what makes me really uncomfortable? Watching the documentaries on serial killers and stuff. Because I'm like, there are people like that out there. And that just like, this is a story of something that actually happened to someone. That's what makes me go, ugh, like
crazy.
Yeah.
Do you think that, all right, this is along the same lines of the serial killer thing. Do you think it's okay that they make TV shows like, what's his face that they just did with old mate fucking Evan Peters? Who did he just play that?
Dahmer.
Yeah. Do you reckon it's okay that they're making shows like Dahmer, movies like the Ted Bundy and stuff, to not glorify these killers, but like to make money out of them? I was thinking this the other day. Like, what's their point?
You know, it's interesting because I was, Local Script Man, that guy on YouTube that I sometimes send videos of. Have you watched any of his videos?
No.
So there's this guy on YouTube called Local Script Man who's a writer, and I think he's only in his 20s or something. He's young, but his information is so helpful and like he's super skilled. And he was talking about how when you write characters, it's not your job to write a character that is, inherently good or inherently bad, right? You write a character that has humanistic qualities, and then it's up to the audience to decide how they feel about them.
Yeah, okay.
And I feel like you can apply that logic here. It's like you tell a story about a certain person,
but you're making money from it.
So your point is more like, is it ethically wrong to make movies?
I don't know. Maybe it.
I
don't know.
I mean, I don't.
Like, imagine
it's just telling a story.
Imagine you're a family member of like a victim, and there's posters everywhere of Dahmer on Netflix in a week, and
that's
you're like,
true.
fuck.
It is a bit messed up.
Yeah.
But it's at the same time, it's kind of fascinating, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
fair enough.
we can't deny that as humans, we're drawn to drama and conflict and things that sort of make us feel a little bit scared. That's why, the news is a thing, and they're always posting all these bad, scary things, because humans are drawn to that, and that's going to always get more clicks and views than things that are good and happy.
Trust me, I know.
Unfortunate truth, yeah.
I know when it's been a slow news day.
Yeah.
When it's not. Yeah. Anyways, good chat. I reckon we get into the progress now.
Let's do it.
Good stuff, Dan. Do you wanna lead us into it, mate?
Yeah, sure. Were you just flipping me the bird just then?
No, I was stretching. Sorry, mate. Yeah,
that's all right. Was that just stretching?
No, that was flipping you the bird.
So I've pretty much spoken about Baron. I emailed the sound designer today, so hopefully he gets back to me, and I can get him the assets for the film, and he can start working.
He's agreed to it, yeah.
Well, we spoke about it like weeks ago, because I was trying to get picture log before I went to Melbourne, and then Jack, my producer, was saying you should just take it easy and make sure you get it right, which he was right, and I'm glad I did that. I'm glad I listened to him, because I've adjusted the film quite a bit since then, and I think it's a lot better because of it.
Is he giving you any input on it? Jack?
Yeah, I've sent him a couple because he's been asking for it. So I sent him a few versions, and I was a little bit hesitant to because of what you said actually about how the edit can be sacred, and I do like think that's a good. I think that's true as well.
Yep.
So, but I was like, yeah, I'll send it to him, and then
Sure.
this latest version I sent, he's like, yeah, it's good. Like all
Amazing.
the changes you've made are really good. I'm like, cool, okay, I think it's in a good place, and
Sweet.
I watch it now, and I'm happy with it, which I
Amazing.
think is like to me that's important.
And it will only get better with sound
Yeah,
design.
exactly. I'm really excited,
man,
and
it's
it
gonna
like
be
it feels
so
like
good.
I'm at this point where I've been tweaking
Yeah.
it for months, and I'm just over it. Like I'm
Yeah.
like I just
Yeah,
want to
for
move
sure.
to the next phase.
For sure.
So-
You've turned that edit around real quick.
Yeah, I
Like
mean, I've
compared
had
to
time.
yeah, for
You know,
sure.
like other people work full-time jobs and all that
Yes,
stuff, so they don't have
yes,
the time,
yes.
which is like fair enough. But
Yes.
at the same time, I do feel like with short films, a lot of the time people don't prioritize them when
No.
it comes to post-production.
Yep.
Like they definitely could get it done quicker, and then they spend like 3 years on a short film because they just lose steam.
I think you've done pretty well in the sense of you also helping Lockie out with the editing and move
Yeah.
that process forward because he's a busy man, man.
Yeah,
Like, he-
well, that's exactly it.
so I think that's, I mean, in my experience of like editing my films, I poor Lockie, I mean, thank God he's actually said yes to take on all of our films because he's
Yeah.
a fucking genius with it. But the poor man's working a full-time job
Yeah.
as well, so he can't get it done as quick as, you know, he would probably want to.
Yeah.
So I think you helping him out with the edit has really, I guess, sped that process along.
Yeah, and I think I've found with my last couple of films that I have to experiment a lot in the edit to make certain things work.
Yeah.
And, you know, Lockie's doing it as a favor for
Yeah,
a friend.
exactly.
And I can't
Yeah.
ask him to spend all
No,
this
no,
time
no,
like
not at all.
experimenting with every viable option. Like that would take ages. So
Yeah,
I just
yeah,
did
yeah.
it myself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Fair
And-
enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it does like I think being a director is about learning how to communicate.
Yes.
So it's definitely
Sure.
that's what I've had to learn to do. But also, like, you know, there are times where you can also take the project by the reins a little bit.
Put your
So-
foot down.
Yeah, and it's been good having DaVinci with that cloud feature where you can both edit it on your own computers. That's made it
That's
a lot
good on the
easier.
one timeline.
Yeah.
That's fucking epic.
The only
I might do that.
the only bad thing is that you can't both be on the computer at the same time.
Right. Okay.
But that's a tiny problem. Like,
That's good.
Yeah.
Do you edit on your Mac?
I have a custom PC. It's Windows.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I
I
was
think-
just like, because if I want to kind of go along the same route as what you were doing,
Yeah.
like kind of co-edit, I don't know how well my computer will take.
Well, Lockie edits on Apple, and I edit
Yeah.
on Windows. So it's
Do you edit with the
cross-compatible.
proxies?
I didn't really need them.
Oh, you didn't?
The RE like files are quite good actually. They
That's
run
good.
pretty smoothly on my computer at least anyway. And on
Yeah,
Lockie's
cool.
they were decent too.
Awesome.
Also, you don't have to make proxies to. You can like downsize the resolution, like play it like quarter.
Yeah,
resolution
quarter,
to-
half. Yeah, full,
so you can do that if you need to. But
Cool.
I would often just like if I got the edit to a point where I was like I wanted to watch it back as a whole, I would just export it and then just watch it because it just plays back without any lag or anything.
It's going to be really, like, I've just been thinking about the editing process just a little bit, not more so. I think I'm just going to wait, figure out all the shit that I really need to figure out first and then figure out decisions with the editing process.
For the
But I'm like-
horologist.
for the horologist. And I'm like, oh, God, it's going to be different to any other thing because the story's so all over the place and wondering how I'm going to communicate that and stuff. So anyway, sorry, that was just a...
No, that's all right. So yeah, that's pretty much it for Baron. So it's
Cool.
chugging along slowly but surely. Mm-hmm. And then I've been writing something else. So I think I told you I've been writing it.
Crone's getting a split.
Okay, I think that's someone's actual podcast intro.
Is it really?
Yeah,
Oh,
fuck
man.
that. All right,
Oh,
yeah. What have
sorry.
you been writing?
Sorry, guys. So another like film in the same sort of thriller genre.
Okay.
And I wanna cast some people that I know. I've got like ideas that I can make this on a smaller budget than Baron, using locations that I already have access to, using
Your grandmother's house.
yes, using either my own camera gear or just like something we can rent that's maybe cheaper than the RE. Like I feel like I can make a film that sort of uses the limitations as an advantage.
Okay, cool.
And using actors that I already know as well. I'm not going to say exactly who yet, just because we haven't
Talked about it.
early stages.
Sure.
I mean, I've spoken to them, but yeah.
Nice.
Anyway, and it'll be quite short. Like it'll be around like probably 8 minutes tops.
Nice.
And then, but the more exciting part is like I've had this idea for a while that I've slowly fleshed out, and so I think like I read this screenwriting book recently. What is it? The John Truby one. I can't remember the title. It's a screenwriting book, and he talks about how you should develop your characters first, and what you want your story to be about, and then figure out the plot around that, which makes sense because it's like your film is really about your characters' arcs, right?
That's interesting.
Like what your character goes through from the start to the finish of the film. That's the essence of what the film is about. Yeah,
I guess so.
You know, like you take Finding Nemo, and it's about letting go, I suppose. You know, because Marlin has to let go of his son, basically. So his character arc tells you what the film is actually about at its essence. It's not about a fish in the ocean that loses his... I mean, it is about losing his son, finding... Yeah. You know what I mean? It's not about cartoon fish. It's about letting go of...
Yes, I know what you mean.
Yes.
Yep, for sure. That's a really interesting way to think about it.
Yeah, so... The reason I bring that all up is because I do the opposite.
Oh, right.
I come up with a plot. And then I put in characters to...
I'm a bit the same, I guess.
Yeah, because I just come up with an interesting concept. And I'm like,
exactly.
How can I sort of tie myself to this? How can I find characters to fill that world? Because I don't know, the way my brain works is that I'm always just... When I'm out and about in daily life, I think like, that would be a cool movie idea.
Sure.
That would be a cool idea. And then I write down all these ideas, and I have a list of probably like 100 different short film and feature film ideas.
Great.
And then when I need inspiration, I go back and look at the old ones and have a think about how I can flesh them out and all this stuff. So that short film that I'm hopefully wanting to do by the end of this year, I thought of a way to actually turn that into a proof of concept for a larger film. And then I also thought of a very strong, like, personal tie to connect that film to myself, which I don't want to speak about yet. I don't know if I'll even ever speak about it publicly. It might just be something that I'll just leave the film up to interpretation for people.
I'm going to be analysing that film like shit, man.
Yeah, well, maybe eventually I'll talk to you about it, but not anytime soon. At least not until you see a first draft or something like that.
Shit, you got me intrigued, brother.
Yeah.
Does Cindy know?
No one knows. What? No one knows about this because I literally figured out the personal tie before I got here this morning. And I went, because I was just thinking, like, you know, how can these characters interact? How can I find the best, like, antagonist and protagonist? Because when you come up with a protagonist, you've got to think of the antithesis to them, right?
Yep.
The antagonist that is going to go against them morally, ethically, all that stuff, challenge them in the most optimal way possible, right? That's how you tell a story. So I was trying to think of characters that combat each other in the best way, and I've thought of two characters that sort of repel each other in an interesting way.
Wow.
And then I was like, okay, how can I tie this personally? And I've spoken to Indy about this. With each of my films, or as the last few films, I try to tie them or make them for a person in my life. It just adds like a personal element for me. Like Caliber was about my father, you know. It's about this kid who's, you know, living on this farm and he's trying to follow in the footsteps of his dad, and then loss of innocence when he, you know, takes his dad's gun and kills this rabbit and realizes that, you know, growing up is a little bit scary and a little bit confronting, but then at the end his dad comes and helps him. And, you know, it's the message is that with guidance from the right people that you'll be okay, basically.
Great.
So, and then I guess the film I made after that was A Love Story in Reverse, who was for my best friend when I was at film school. And then, well, I guess in a way, Baron, in a strange, twisted way.
It's for me.
No, it was for my mum, actually.
Oh, okay. Fuck. All right, sorry.
And did I send you my Bible for Baron?
Yeah.
So you read the director's statement. So, you know, it's about...
Yeah, a while ago.
So the sort of connection there is that, you know, like, sometimes with your parents, like, not everything is light and fluffy. Like, you guys have arguments, back and forth, all that kind of stuff.
It's like me and you. Maybe this film is about me and you don't know it.
Maybe. But I think that before what I said about characters and their arc being what the story's truly about, I think that story, Baron, is about how far would you go for the people you love, right? I mean, she really wants this baby and she's willing to do whatever it takes to have this baby. And I think at its core, it is really about unconditional love, or, you know, finding that love in a place where it doesn't quite exist. Like, you know, she's not getting it from her husband, so she needs it from somewhere else. So I guess I sort of...
Something else.
So I tied it to my mother in that way, I guess, in the way that I know that she would have unconditional love for me and my family. And yeah, I think that was just something that I always remembered as I was making the film.
I can't wait till the movie you do about me.
Yeah, that's the Hollywood success. Entourage 2. But yeah, so with this feature as well, I figured out how to tie it to someone in my life as well. But I don't quite want to talk about that now, if ever, to be honest.
Nice.
But yeah,
cool.
But
So
what
you
I'm
win an
saying is
Oscar.
it has a very strong personal tie.
That's brilliant. You know me and telling you boys to get personal ties. So.
Yeah. It has a strong connection to me.
Sometimes you don't have one.
And it can be a strong, it can be a connection in an abstract way. Like the Baron connection's very abstract.
Yes.
But it's still something that makes you care about the story.
Yeah.
And you have to care about your story enough on a personal level to stick through the creative process. Otherwise, you're like, what is this story about? Why am I making this? Why do I care? Why does anyone else care?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's it. Yeah.
Wrong sound. Turn it off. Oh, fuck. Sorry. Wrong sound. They've got to put labels on these, man. Fuck. Sorry, that ruined the moment there. Cool, man.
Cool.
That was great. You said you didn't have much to talk about. Fucking fantastic.
Yeah, well, once I thought about it. And
how's the freelance work going?
Oh, yeah. Like, I've had a little bit of editing work and stuff. That's going good. There's not too much to talk about.
Heard from the guy again? Requested your money?
He's gone. Yeah, no more requests.
Yeah,
he might come back somehow, like, I don't know, try and like parachute into my house. God knows with this guy, he'll come up with some creative way to like take me out.
There's no where you live?
Well, that's what I was trying to think about. I was like, is there a way that he can somehow like track me down or like mess with me? But I don't think so. And hopefully he's just not that bothered to like ruin a videographer's life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this videographer did me wrong. I will do what it takes to end his life. John Wick 5, it's like his videographer.
Oh my God.
My wedding videographer. He ruined my day.
Oh, you have a brilliant trailer voice.
Thank you. This summer, one man.
Oh my
changed the world.
God. Mate, you gotta go down that route, definitely.
Thank
Yeah, right. Fair enough. How's have you done any more planning for the music video?
Oh, not too much. I'm gonna just do like a storyboard kind of thing, but like with reference images from films and stuff, just so I can start. I've had like little chats with David and stuff because I sent him references, and then he took some time to digest it, and he got back to me and he said, here's how we can do it, basically. And like it's super straightforward.
Cool.
It's just like about picking the right time of day, like doing a recce to make sure we know where everything is. It's a very straightforward shoot.
Love it, mate.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Cool.
Is that it for you?
That's it, mate. So what about you?
Let me look at my checklist because I can do a checklist weekly.
Yeah.
Okay, so I finished. This is my progress for the horologist. So I finished the Judith Weston breakdown. Probably the biggest Judith Weston breakdown I've done. And it's for 3 characters, not 6 like Ozma was, or however many characters there are in that.
Does it go a lot deeper?
Oh, yeah, okay. For sure. So, yeah, I did the Judith Weston breakdown. That's good. That's what I wanted to get done. So I had a bunch of shit that I wanted to get done before the end of the month. And then we go into other stuff that we want to get done next month.
Actually, I had a question for you.
Yep.
So this is a short film, but it's on the longer end of a short film.
Here we go.
So
we've had a couple fights this week.
I'm not asking about that. I'm not asking about that.
Love that. That's what it starts with again.
No. I just want to know, like, because obviously writing a short film is different from writing a feature, right? In terms of like the function, your character arcs, all that stuff. So I want to know, does this function as a short film or a feature? Or somewhere in between.
So that video you sent me, he put it pretty good in terms of, a short film it only has to be about, I forgot what exactly he said, but like one thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking about.
Yeah.
Like, it's more complicated than
No,
that, right?
yeah.
It's not like a full feature film arc, is it?
It's not a short, it's not a feature, it's a medium length. And it's I could have built on it to flesh it out into more of a feature, but I couldn't have taken away from it to make it a short. So it's naturally a medium length film.
So like, do all the characters have like full arcs and like fleshed out in a way that you would for a feature? Or not quite?
That's
like,
a good
where
question.
do you draw that middle line? You know what I mean?
I think it's.
Or do you think it functions more like a proof of concept?
No.
Okay.
Nah.
It's a full story.
It's a full story this time with full arcs for everybody. It's not a short. It's just not, because the way that, you know, I think I've come to realize that character arcs function in shorts. It's like usually, like you said, about one kind of thing, and it's different, and I think it has more similarities to a feature than it does a short. It's really hard to explain. What was the question again?
Does it function as a short or as a feature?
Yeah, no, it functions more like a feature than a short. That's the kind of question to the answer to your question.
But with that short length, do you find that you have enough time to put in all the elements that you need?
Yeah, 100%. Like I said, it naturally came to the length that it is, which is 33 pages, or maybe just less than 33 pages.
And that feels like a complete story.
Yes, 100%. It's naturally come to, like I said, I could have built on it if I really wanted to and flesh it out to a feature, and that being, I don't know, what are the features classified as? I think it's anything above,
I think it can
40.
be, above 40.
Anything, that's what the Academy qualifies it as. I could have made it, I reckon, around an hour probably if I really wanted to, but naturally how the story fleshed out to be was a 33-page script, and it feels more like a feature than a short, because I can't do shorts. I mean, I honestly, I've never tried. I can't. I probably could do shorts, and there is one short that I want to do after this.
Yes. Did you want to talk about that or not yet?
Yeah, I mean, there's a script that Lockie wrote a while back. He wrote a bunch of scripts for us boys, and he wanted us to all kind of like choose one, and if we wanted to direct in the future or whatnot. And there was one script that he wrote that I really resonated with, and I hate war films. I do. I just don't. I don't hate it in a sense of I hate war. Well, I mean, I do hate war, but like I don't connect with war.
That was the good thing
films.
about Civil War, hey?
Yes.
It's like not really a war film.
No,
It is,
exactly.
but
It's not. Yeah. So I really resonated with the story, and it was when you just read things and you can start imagining it visually, and it playing out, that it did that, and it made a bit of an impact on me actually.
Is this the one in the trenches?
Yeah,
that's a good one. I like that one.
Yeah. So and since then, honestly, I haven't stopped thinking about it, and I think it has a good chance to get funding because it's an Australian story.
You could definitely make that like that.
Yes.
I feel like that's up your alley. I could see you making that and making it really good.
Yeah, for sure, man. And I've non-stop started thinking about it, and I've always said The Horologist was going to be my last short film, because then I wanted to try different things like commercials and stuff like that, maybe veer into that kind of world of things. But when there's just projects you have to make, and I feel like that I do have to make it one way or another eventually. But I've decided I'm only going to do that if I get funding for it. Because I can't keep spending all this money on it, on films. I mean, I can, but I just won't have any left. But yeah, so that's, I think, the plan for, I don't know when, but that's definitely what I want to do after.
Lovely.
But in terms of The Horologist, where we're at right now, like I said, finished the Judith Weston. We held the in-person auditions last week, so I don't think I've actually talked about that.
Yes, talk about it.
Yeah, held that in-person auditions, and it was really good. We have we still haven't figured it out, and that was Monday. Yeah, that was Monday. This week.
So how many people did you have come in?
5.
Oh, okay. So this is narrowed down to the
From 200 to 5.
Whoa.
And
did most of them send self-tapes and then you went from there?
Nah, so there were 48 that I requested self-tapes from, and I think I got around 30.
Okay. Yeah.
So then from those self-tapes, me and Taha seed through them and chose these 5. And
do you want to announce them or not yet?
Oh no, we still haven't chosen. We still haven't chosen who we're choosing, and it's really hard. And I don't know if I can talk about it, because I don't know when because we're gonna lock it in by the first week of May, like by the end of the first week of May.
Maybe just wait to announce it.
Yeah, no. Like we have lead runners at the moment.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because there were some amazing in-person auditions that, if certain factors did work out, then me and Taha were like, we would have chosen straight away.
Well, it's also... sorry to cut you off.
No.
The other thing is that I found with Baron is it's not just finding an individual; it's finding 2 people that have chemistry with each other.
Well, all these guys had chemistry.
Right. Okay.
Well, not all of them, but one of them. I can't fucking say. They all had chemistry, but there was one kind of couple that we tested. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Just there was one thing that I can't mention. I think I told you about that. Really was like, fuck.
Yeah.
If that thing only was, then Taha was like, if that thing was that, then he would have, when they walked out, Taha would have gone, that's it. Like straight away. But I have that. I'm saying that the other people that we had audition equally as good. They're two different kind of.
It's not often a level of skill. It's just
interpretation.
Yeah, it's just they're not right for that role.
No, and but seeing how these guys performed and knowing where we want to take the character, it gave us ideas on how to direct whoever we choose in the direction that we want to go with the characters. But it was great. We set up in a building. Dad got us another room in the city, and we set up a table with light. It was funny as.
Saw on your Instagram.
Yeah, man. But yeah, it was good fun. It was good fun. We were there for like the rest of the arvo, and got really intense. There was a lot of crying, screaming, and wow, I did not expect it to be that intense, but then I did. I did also expect, because we got some of the most talented people that I've worked with and seen, that have auditioned for these roles. And
how did you pick the scenes that you got them to read out?
That was also a discussion that I had with Taha, and Taha has been, dude, I can't even begin to imagine. I mean, I don't know if I can talk about this either, but like working. No. I've had amazing producing partners in the past, right? Amazing. And they've all come to different experiences, with working with different people, not only producers, but people that I've worked with before in general. But working with Taha has been unlike, it's been a totally different experience altogether, because he brings that extra layer of being an actor and understanding these characters. So he's doing as much direction as I am, because he knows the characters, he knows them, he loves them, and he loves the story, he cares for them, what you were saying. So we both have these really good understanding of these characters and what we want to do. And his daily job is he works with kids acting, like he teaches acting to kids, so he knows how to work with kids, he knows how to work with actors, and he's fantastic himself. So having that layer of understanding actors and characters in the creation of this process, from script writing to revisions and stuff, to even getting the most out of the actors on the day of what we're trying to find from them, we work together as a fucking amazing team.
It's good when you find your people, isn't it?
It is, man. And he's it is his film as much as it is mine, and he has as much creative influence on it as I do, and we're on the same page about everything. So it's how I say, there's people that you meet that you click with, and I think I found my long-term kind of, partner in this industry. So one of them at least. I have many of them, but so doing the rehearsals, he's just great. Like talking to these guys, and they're getting really emotional, really getting into the characters, and it was fantastic. We left that day thinking, wow, we have a decision on our hands. From that, a lot of discussion, and we put forward our front runners, throughout the week we've had meetings with continuity, just filling them in on what we've been doing, what the future looks like, and then opening the floor for any questions. So I had a meeting with that, with continuity, had a meeting with makeup this morning. After this, have another meeting with PD and costumes. And we have a recce next Monday out in the Blue Mountains for this place that we've found that we, fingers crossed, it all works out. Taha's been brilliant. He's like literally non-stop been working on this project as well. It's been incredible. Like he's been talking to all the locations, doing that. Like we've delegated who's doing what, talking to all the locations, smooth talking him in trying to get a really, really good price and stuff. And yeah, he's been doing all the. I don't really like talking like money and figures and stuff like that, and just talking to people in general. I know it's bad, but like I get weirdly like anxious talking on the phone to people.
I'm the same. I find it hard to negotiate sometimes.
Yes, I can't negotiate, bro. When we were in Bali, I let Sarah. Sorry, not Bali. When we were in Thailand, I let Sarah do all the bartering and stuff at the markets. But I can't do it. But Taha's been really good with that, and yeah, I've given him. We have like pages and pages of different locations that we want to like go into, but we've got some lead front runners for that as well. So that's been good. And then yesterday we hired out. Have you heard of Flow Studios in Camperdown?
I have.
Yeah, so we hired out a little place in there, and we did chemistry tests furthermore with one of our options for Pietro, and we got 2 kids that we liked from the self tapes to come in, and we tested them with one of our front runners.
How old are the kids?
Well, one of them was 5 years old.
Oh,
which
okay.
is really
So
cute, man.
small.
Yeah, and one of them was 9 years old.
Have you? Oh, you've worked with kids before.
Yes, I worked with them. But this again comes into Taha's specialty because he works with kids.
That's great.
And teaching them acting. So he knows how to speak to them. And this whole thing has been a whole learning process as well. Learning off Taha how he talks, and he's just incredible. But yeah, so that was really fun, and the parents are great as well. They all come in, you know, brothers, dads, whatever, mums. They're all there, and yeah, it was great. I think we have a front runner for the kid now as well. Mm-hmm. Oh fuck, that kind of spoils the whole story, eh?
Does it? Not really.
No, it's all right. Oh well, whatever. It's about it's alright. Fuck, I don't know what to say. But yeah. Anyways, we have a front runner for the kid, who's still going to need direction, but we think we know. You know, we in these kind of audition processes, you don't always look for best acting; you look for best potential. And I think that's what we've done. So we've got our front running lead 3 at the moment. And we'll see how we kind of go from there. But anybody that auditioned is still in the running to kind of get the role. Just because, you know, we've done tests elsewhere doesn't mean that they've got the role first off. So and we're still waiting on a couple of things like Taha. I don't know if I can talk about that either. Anyways, he has a connect that knows. Fuck. I don't know what to talk about.
If you can't talk about, that's all right.
Anyways, we might be getting access to some really good actors in Australia.
Nice,
So we're waiting for that as well, but we're going to lock everything in by the end of the first week of May in terms of cast. I can't wait for Taha to come on here and talk about this whole process as well, because I've kind of just scratched the surface of our how we've gone about this and our techniques and everything like that, and I'm loving it, man. It's fucking amazing.
Was there anything outside of the horologist that you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, I don't know if I can though. Again, I don't know.
If you can't, no, I just mean in general.
I think it's kind of like what you say. Like, you don't want to jinx anything.
No. I don't mean that particular. I just mean anything.
Right.
You can talk about that if you want to, but
I just have the opportunity to meet somebody in the industry that could give me some advice, some guidance to, you know, propel my career.
Yeah, nice.
Simple as that.
Very good.
But we'll see about that. Trying to think if there's anything else other than those 2. No, but you really got me excited talking about my magnum opus again, about the CIA files.
Sounds cool.
I have that in the back pocket for whenever I need to whip it out. That doesn't sound good, but and like we the thing about that project as well is like we did so well on it that I don't know if I can say this, but our lecturer wanted to jump on board as the producer and help us. But first, he's like, you gotta like build on it, of course, and you know all that shit. But
that's nuts.
But he has. Anyways,
you gotta make sure people don't steal your idea. Don't tell too many.
I'm not. There was a point in time where I think TikTok found it a little like for like a day. Yeah. And like I found it. It wasn't exactly it, but it was like along the same realms of the things. But
Interesting.
it's
You always manage to find these things that no one else has found and make stories.
well, this
based
is a
on.
hidden gem. I can tell you about it afterwards.
Okay, sure.
But yeah, let's get into the last seg,
Let's do
ladies
it.
and gents. All right, Indy.
Hello.
What do we? Hello.
Yeah.
What are we doing
Wait,
this
should we
week
adjust the camera
for the seg?
Indian?
Oh, it's all right. Are you doing your own as well or no?
No.
Oh,
Okay,
I'm
right.
gonna be off screen. Yeah,
It's all right.
'cause-
It's all right.
yeah.
Just leave it. Just leave it. All right. What are we doing this week?
Let me find where I wrote it.
That's fine.
A few false starts here.
What are we doing?
So this week you're recasting an animated film for a live action remake. And so just cast whoever you think would suit the roles.
I like that. Yeah.
Should we go
and
one
then
for one?
justifications for your choices.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, we'll go one for
okay.
one. We'll go one for
Right,
one.
my justifications are gonna be pretty poor.
Yeah, same with mine, bro.
They
I
look
was just like,
similar.
"Oh, I like them. Yeah. All right. Do you want to go first or me?
I'll go first.
Okay, go for it.
So we've got a live action Ratatouille.
Oh, that was one that I was gonna do, but I
Really?
didn't. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
So
Who you casting as the rat?
as Remy, we've got Chris Pratt.
Oh my
Gonna be every animated character. Oh wait, sorry. Let me restate. This casting would probably be better if it was a decade ago,
Okay.
because there's a couple people on there that are dead, or just a bit too old for the
All
role.
right, go.
So for Alfredo Linguini, you know, the main dude,
Yeah.
the ginger, Dom Hall Gleason.
I was gonna say, right? That's who I was gonna cast. That's
he's
who
got
I was
red
gonna
hair?
Cast. No, he's also fantastic.
Oh, he's amazing.
when I
yeah.
saw that on the list of like animation movies, I'm like Donald Gleason.
I think if he was a bit younger, he'd actually. smash
Yeah.
that.
Oh, Chris Pratt, Dominic, that is fantastic.
Yeah.
All right.
Um,
Who are you killing?
for the
Oh, sorry. Who's dead?
Oh, well, I'll get to that. But for the girl, you know, Colette Tatau, the French girl, I was like, who's French? Leah Sedal.
Oh,
You know,
yes.
give her some black hair. I think she'd be pretty good.
Who's French?
Give her a black bob cut. she'd be
Yeah,
good.
cool. Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
The food critic, right?
The
get to
the bad chef dude, you know, the little short guy that
Yeah.
follows him around everywhere. Steve Buscemi.
Oh my god.
I mean, he's a bit tall.
Yeah.
But he's got that sort of
cut his legs off.
dweebly vibe.
Dweeb.
Ego, you know, the critic.
Yep.
Alan Rickman, the late
Oh
Alan
my
Rickman.
god,
Yeah, he'd be good though. Eh?
dude, this is a cast.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's a pretty stacked cast.
Solid.
eh? And then you know, what's his name? Auguste Gustau, you know, the chef.
Augustus
the-
Gusto.
Augustus.
Yeah.
Brendan Fraser.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's the
Solid
cast.
fucking work.
Yeah.
Look, mine isn't that. I only did the characters that I know in all these movies.
Okay, hit us.
Tangled,
Yes.
Rapunzel,
Yeah.
Florence Pugh.
Nice. I have seen that fan casting. I think that would be good. Yeah.
But I thought of her in general.
Yeah.
I just think she's great.
She'd be good.
Flynn Rider, or is his name Finn?
Yeah.
Finn or Flynn?
Flynn.
Flynn.
Paul Mescal.
Okay.
I just have it
Okay.
as Paul.
Interesting.
Honestly,
I would
you are-
like to see them two together.
I think so as well. I think their chemistry would be fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't really have any reasons why. I don't know. Florence blonde. She once had long hair.
yeah.
Now not so much. Yeah.
Sorry, I was getting a burp out.
And then Flynn Rider, Paul Mescal, because I just see him
Interesting
in
choice.
that role. Fucking man. I don't know, but my reasonings are pretty shit. But
What about like
just imagine. Just imagine.
what's his name? Jacob Elordi or something.
Oh man. Yeah. I can see Jacob Elordi.
Yeah.
For sure.
But I do like I don't mind Paul Mescal.
Nah, I see Jacob Elordi more in that role actually. Like more of a, starts off like dickish and then kind of gets better. More than Paul Mescal. Let's go with that, Jacob Elordi. All right, cool.
I think Paul Mescal is a little bit too earnest.
Yeah.
Like he's too likable.
Yes.
Whereas Jacob can play more of
yes,
the
like you
douche.
want to punch his face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
don't, but yeah.
I think this next one you've probably got, so I'm curious to see who else you cast. But Into the Spider-Verse.
I was gonna do that and I crossed it out.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So I tried to cast people that aren't obviously already in
Okay,
the movie.
yeah.
Because some of the people that do the voices
Yeah.
would actually...
And that's why I stopped. That's why I didn't do it.
I feel like Oscar Isaac would actually be good as Miguel in live
I
action.
think so.
But so for Miles, we've got Caleb McLaughlin, you know, the kid from Stranger Things.
Yep. I've seen that fan cast.
Yep. I saw it too, and I was like,
He would
that'd
be
good.
brilliant, yeah, sure.
Gwen, we got Millie Alcock.
Yes.
Yeah. Me
Yep.
and Lockie agreed on that the other night.
Fantastic.
Miguel's a little bit of a weaker cast.
Okay.
Benicio del Toro.
Yeah, that's the only one I don't agree with, I reckon.
Yeah, that's fair. I was like, who's Spanish? Peter B. Parker is Jason Sudeikis.
Yeah. Jason. Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, do you reckon?
Love
Yeah.
that. Yes, fantastic.
Miles' dad, well, this actor recently passed away as well. Andre Braugher, you know, from
oh yeah.
from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah, yeah.
He would be good.
He would go. I'll tell you who I would cast. The guy, you know, in Suits. Have you seen Suits?
I've not.
Have you seen Suits? Fuck, the guy that plays the dad of Meghan Markle's character, who's just been cast as Perry White in Superman.
Oh, right. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Anyways, yeah, cool.
And then Miles' mum is a bit of a miscast, especially when you consider who the dad is. But I said Naomi Scott, you know, from...
I fucking love Naomi Scott.
She's cool.
She's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, yeah.
All right,
My
you go.
one, Wreck-It Ralph.
Ooh.
Ralph.
Okay. Yeah.
Alan Richardson.
I thought you were going to say the guy that plays Tony Soprano. Hey, I'm going to wreck
Oh,
it.
that fucking works.
What
as
am I
well.
going to do? I'm going to wreck it.
Yeah, I don't know. Alan Richardson. I can imagine because he's funny. He can play that goofball.
Yeah.
That's how he is in real life. He's only played serious characters.
Yeah. Have you seen him in Blue Mountain State?
No.
Oh, have you seen clips from it?
Maybe.
Oh, he's like complete opposite of Reacher.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, he's like this big like football guy,
Yeah.
but he's like really like
Yeah,
over the
well,
top,
that's how I kind of imagine him. And
Yeah.
then Vanellope, either Isabella Merced from the Madam Web, or not Madam Web, but
Yeah.
or Ariana Greenblatt, who's from Barbie, the little girl in Barbie, but
yeah.
also played Minnie Ahsoka in the Ahsoka
Yeah,
series.
yeah, she'd be good.
She's fantastic.
She's in everything right now.
She
hey?
is.
Yeah, she was little Gamora as well, wasn't she? In
Gamora,
Infinity
yes,
War?
exactly. So I think she would do well in Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, nice,
All right,
nice.
last one for you.
Last one. Monster House.
Okay, I actually haven't seen Monster
What?
House.
You haven't?
No.
Oh.
Hey,
Okay,
Watch
pull it up
it.
now because I want you to see the
Okay,
photos.
alright,
Just
fine.
say, just type in Monster House main characters or something. 'Cause
Monster.
I want you to have a reference photo.
Okay, Monster House, cool. Oh yeah, maybe I have seen it. Okay, yeah, go.
Okay, so DJ, the main kid,
Yep.
Zachary Gordon.
Oh my god, I was just thinking that. I was just thinking that.
Now guess who I've got as Chowder?
The guy.
Yeah.
What, his mate in
Rowley.
Drive? Yeah, fucking
Robert
knew
Catherine.
it. Don't tell me you casted fucking young Emma Watson for the redhead.
No, but guess who I casted?
Who? Sadie Sink.
And then for Nebacracker, who's the old dude that like lives in the house.
Yeah, what, this guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
David Bradley, who plays Filch from Harry Potter. You know
Okay.
the janitor guy who's like
No.
who's running. You haven't seen? Have you seen
No,
Harry Potter?
yeah, of course I have.
Type in Argus Filch.
Filch. Harry Potter.
I actually think this is like the best casting on the whole list.
Yes, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I see that for sure. That's great. Fantastic.
So yeah, that's
My last one.
it. Yep.
Frozen.
Ooh.
Christoph Dake Montgomery.
I'm trying to picture because I haven't actually seen Frozen, but I know what the characters look like.
You've seen Frozen, right? Dacre Montgomery, who's the knight in
dude.
China.
Yeah,
Yeah, that guy. Anna, Chloe Grace Moretz.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
And Elsa, Vanessa Kirby.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting choice.
Yeah.
Interesting choice.
Elsa, white hair. I could have gone with what's the girl from Game of Thrones?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
because she
Amelia
just looks
Clarke.
like her, but nah,
She doesn't have blonde hair naturally, but yeah, obviously she can rock it.
Yeah. But yeah, Vanessa Kirby, I think she'll kill it. Anyways, I don't really have any explanation for that. I just kind of like them,
Yeah.
and know them, so and they kind of look like them, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, that's it, man.
Cool.
Let's
Let's
wrap it
tie a
up.
little bow on this episode.
Good stuff. Alrighty, if you want to catch us on, YouTube, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast, the pre-production meeting, and TikTok, Instagram, the pre-prod pod, and hopefully we have some guests coming up. We have a
Yes.
couple that we need to sort out. So
You on the
hopefully,
roster. Just got to line up. schedules.
exactly. Alrighty, we'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys.
Peace.